Every single investor in the entire world has to understand what Meta, Microsoft, Amazon, and Google just said when they just reported earnings. Because the things that they said, the things that they're planning to do, the things that they are spending money on, the direction that they see the economy and the AI sector going, dictates extremely where the stock market is likely to go. So in this video, we're going to break down those four companies, updated for what they just talked about and what they just reported on their earnings reports. And then we're going to go into this account, the $1.4 million Schwab account, and we're going to talk about ways that we could capitalize on this in both the bullish way and both the bearish way. Because unfortunately, these four companies right here, they did not all report good. All right, so before we go dive into these four companies right here, while they did just report earnings, it's no coincidence that I picked these specific four companies to be in this video right here. Why did I pick them? Because the AI sector going forward, the business for NVIDIA, AMD, Broadcom, TSM, the company that builds the chips, what these four companies do to the AI sector is basically keep it afloat, keep it going. And if these companies say that, AI is not super good and we're not going to be able to monetize it, or we're spending too much money and getting no ROI, or we're going to slow down our spending on AI, if that happens, you are going to see companies like NVIDIA collapse. You're going to see companies like AMD definitely collapse because it's already expensive right now to start. So understanding what we're going to talk about right here from these four companies, these are the biggest customers of the NVIDIAs, of the AMDs, of the Broadcoms, of the Marvells, of the TSMs. So this basically dictates where the stock market honestly is likely to go. So let's take a look at Amazon first. So as you guys know by following this channel, earnings per share is the number one thing that moves the price of a stock in the long term. Profits are going up and to the right. The stock in this time frame is going up and to the right also. Revenue growth, while it's going up and to the right, it's not growing as fast as the profits. So you're seeing 36% year over year earnings per share growth, which is good. And you're seeing revenue growth of 14% year over year. And keep in mind, this is all updated as of the earnings that they literally just reported. So we're seeing good growth. But are we seeing a good price? Are we seeing a good valuation level on Amazon? In my opinion, the answer is a clear no. And that doesn't mean that the share price isn't going to go up. It just means that the odds are not extremely stacked in your favor. And when we allocate the stuff, we want the odds extremely stacked in our favor. So if we go down here and take a look at the stock sheet, down here at line 29, Amazon going to the right, the intrinsic value of the stock, the fair value, is somewhere around $200 per share. It's now trading around $260 per share. I know it's probably bouncing around a little bit since you're watching this video, but regardless, the fair value with earnings factored in is around $200 per share. So the stock is clearly expensive, but on balance, this is overall very, very bullish for the entire AI sector. And this sector is literally what is carrying the stock market right now. So we have to understand the totality of the data around this sector in order to be logical, informed investors about how we should allocate our money. So Amazon, it's a little bit expensive, but the company under the hood is fine. The data center spending is fine. The NVIDIAs, the AMDs, the Marvells, the Broadcoms, the TSMs are likely going to be fine based on what Amazon said. But let's go into Google here. So Google's a company where the earnings per share is clearly going up and to the right. The revenue is clearly going up and to the right. And you are seeing the stock clearly go up and to the right also. This was a crazy move. And down here in this range was somewhere where Berkshire Hathaway started to allocate a little bit, Warren Buffett and his team. They got in somewhere around 150, 160 per share in that range, and now it's more than doubled. So, Warren Buffett strikes again and does very, very good. But here's the deal. We got good growth on the bottom and the top line. But the valuation level, how do we feel about it? 26 times trailing earnings, meaning the earnings looking backwards. How do we feel about that? I feel pretty good about that. I feel like Google right now is basically at fair value. And if we go take a look at the stock sheet, you can see that Google is 98% of intrinsic value. In English, that means it's 2% below intrinsic value. Just take a look at it right here. Intrinsic value is 353, currently trading somewhere around 347. And again, I know that share prices bounce around all day long, but intrinsic value, fair value is just somewhere around $350 per share. So when you have a company that is growing as good as Google is growing with a pretty good moat for right now, I don't think that search is really going to collapse anytime soon. When you have a company that's starting at a fair valuation level to start, and you are seeing robust earnings per share growth, the stock is likely to continue to go up and to the right. Now, with all that out of the way, how is the data center spending? How are they seeing data center demand? Do people want Google Cloud? Do people want Gemini? Do they want their products? Let's take a look at what I said here really, really quick in Discord on my breakdown. So these are breakdowns that I basically do on all companies when they report earnings. But let's break down a little bit of the segments right here. Search traffic is up 19% year over year for the revenue. YouTube ads 14% year over year. Network ads really doing nothing. Total ads up 16% on balance. But guess what? We care about the big dog in the room. We care about the cloud revenue, the data center spending. It's up 53% year over year for the revenue, which is absolutely bonkers and absolutely insane. And another thing to confirm the thesis that data center spending is okay and the AI sector is healthy and in demand is this right here. Fiscal year 2026, they raised the guidance to $180 billion for how much money they are planning to spend on data center build out, largely to build out their AI compute capabilities. And in 2025, it was $95 billion. So it's basically a double. And these companies are not stupid, guys. These companies know that if they're going to go from $95 billion to $180 billion, they see the benefits. They see the ROI coming. They see the true efficiency gains coming. And what we're likely to see going forward in the stock market is the companies like the hyperscalers that we're talking about right now. These companies that adopt AI, embrace it, build with it, replace humans with it, make humans become more efficient. It's almost going to be impossible to compete with these companies down the road in a few years because they're just going to be so efficient and so good. So while we're still seeing good revenue growth, we're still seeing good earnings per share growth, this is all at a time that they're spending so much money in data center build out. So what is going to happen when these companies, we only went through 2 companies so far, but what's going to happen when these 4 companies eventually slow down their data center build out a little bit? They're not going to stop it. They're just going to slow it down a little bit. And then other companies are probably going to pick up the slack. So the NVIDIAs, the AMDs, the Broadcoms, the Marvells, the TSMs are probably still going to be fine in the long term. But when these 4 companies that we're going to talk about in this video, when they slow down their capital expenditures, they're going to have more money go to the bottom line, more money go to the earnings per share, more money go to the profits. And as we talk about 6,000 times on this channel, guys, where the profits go dictates where the stock is going to go to. So I'm expecting Google's earnings per share to continue growing very rapidly. And I'm expecting Amazon's earnings per share to continue to grow very, very rapidly. And we're going to go into Microsoft and Meta in just a second here. But guys, what we're seeing right now is if you have the ability to allocate to a good company at a good price with robust earnings per share growth when it is artificially suppressed right now because of the huge AI spending, if you could just close your eyes for 5 years and invest in that company, buy some shares, buy some 2-year leap call options that are just barely out of the money, and go sell some 2-year sold puts, basically $300 strike, take the premium, and go reinvest it back into the company. If you could just weather the storm and weather the volatility, because there's going to be a lot of volatility, you're probably going to open up your eyes in a few years and be very happy. There's, of course, no guarantees, but the setup on Google right now is pretty compelling. Amazon, like I said, the valuation's a little bit high, but Google it's not bad, to be honest with you, given the growth that they're doing right now. But let's go into the next company. And I want to save the best for last, which is going to be Meta. You guys know I have exposure there. Let's go into Microsoft here. Because the things that Microsoft said and the things that Microsoft is guiding for is pretty interesting if you ask me. And Google, by the way, they're spending a lot on CapEx, like I said, a lot of data center build out. They're seeing all the efficiencies just like Amazon is seeing too. And you're going to see similar things here with Meta. And you're going to see similar things right here with Microsoft too. So we go Msft and we take a look at this bad boy. How did they report? Earnings per share going up and to the right. Great. Revenue going up and to the right. Great. 25% EPS growth. Great. 18% revenue growth. Okay. What is the valuation level? We look at Microsoft on the stock sheet. Basically 3% below intrinsic value right here. Intrinsic value is $437. Currently trading at $424. Again, I know share prices bounce around, but this right here is the rough fair value. You're getting a good company at a good price right now, and I am okay to allocate to this company right now. So just like Google, Microsoft has insane growth right now in their cloud segment, and their cloud segment takes up a huge part of the business. Take a look at this. They just reported basically $83 billion in revenue right here. But if we look at Microsoft Cloud, it's $54 billion of that $82 billion up here. So it is truly a huge needle mover. And that part of the business is up 29% year over year, which is good. It's not amazing, but it's good. But then if we look at Azure, which is like the AI layer inside of Microsoft Cloud, it's up 40% year over year. So we are seeing across multiple companies right now a lot of growth in their data center spending, a lot of growth in their actual monetization of that. And there's no surprise that these companies have the confidence to continue to spend CapEx because there's a lot of demand right now for the compute. That is a key needle mover right now. We need to confirm, this is the overarching thing right now. When I go break down these companies, we need to confirm that they're still spending money on data center build out. Because if they slow that down, that signals that AI is not as good as what people think. That signals that we're not going to get an ROI here. That signals that the show might end for the AI play. And where the stock market's at right now, the S&P, the NASDAQ, the overall valuation level is a little bit hot right now. So in order for that valuation level to stay justified, we need to see the growth. We need to see the spending. We need to see the efficiency gains. And what we broke down so far on those three companies, excluding Meta, it looks pretty good if you ask me. So the play on Microsoft, like I said, it's okay to buy shares and hold them for the long term. But given that it's basically at fair value, I know that Google is basically at fair value too. Google just simply has better growth. So I'm more confident to invest in Google versus Microsoft. But here's the deal. If you want to buy Microsoft shares and hold them for a couple years, you're probably going to do great. We're on a dip right now. The valuation level is fair. That's good. If you want to go sell some puts, you could go do that too. I'm all long duration stuff. I don't play games with short duration plays. I do not know what the stocks are going to do in the short term. But on a long duration basis, Microsoft's likely to do fine. And if you go sell like a 350 sold put, 2 years out, take the cash flow, reinvest it into the company, buy some shares, or build your base portfolio, S&P and NASDAQ, I think you're going to do great on that. Is it compelling enough to buy call options right now? No, because call options are the max difficulty play. This is a hierarchy, as you guys know. Buying shares is I'm bullish, selling puts is I'm super bullish, buying calls is I'm like max bullishness. So I don't want to take on a max bullishness play such as buying calls if I am not truly max bullish, if I'm not getting the company for well below what it's actually worth. I need a deeper margin of safety to want to allocate to that stuff because the max bullishness play is also the max difficulty play at the same time. So something to think about with Microsoft right now, but overall, the story looks phenomenal for the AI sector going forward right now. I literally can't find one bad thing to say about it so far. But let's go into Meta. Let's see what they said. Let's see what I said. Let's see what we think overall. And we're going to break it down from here. So revenue going up and to the right. Great. Earnings per share going up and to the right. Great. And Meta is spending so much of their top line revenue to scale their compute capability, their data centers, their AI capabilities. And when that spending slows down, it's potentially likely, I think it's very likely, a huge tailwind for the company. And when you're getting this company so deep below intrinsic value, I feel like the intrinsic value right now is almost $1,000 a share. And it's trading low 600s right now at the time of recording this video. It went down a little bit after hours, so this isn't updated for after hours trading. But it's clearly undervalued right now. And the estimations that I'm putting in for earnings per share growth going forward into my calculator, and this is the same calculator that Warren Buffett uses, the same one that Benjamin Graham uses, who is Warren Buffett's mentor back in the day. Benjamin Graham wrote the Intelligent Investor book, which is a really good investing book that everybody should read. It's like the investing Bible, essentially. I think these are fair and conservative numbers to put in right here. So when we factor that in, we see that Meta is clearly undervalued right now. And Meta is clearly investing a lot in data centers. And again, when they monetize those data centers, when they have agentic AI, they have agents running around where you say, I want to go start a business online and I want to advertise and get customers in the door. What better place to advertise is going to be on Instagram and Meta and Threads and WhatsApp, stuff like that. What better place where there's billions and billions of users if you could talk to an AI agent and say, hey, this is my business model. This is what I want to do. Help me run some ads. Help me drive business. Help me build a website. Help me develop my products. Write my descriptions for it. All that good stuff. I think that there's humongous opportunities there on the business aspect and also humongous opportunities on things like what Claude does and what ChatGPT does. They're scaling models like that too. So I think that Meta has a huge potential to capitalize on right here, kind of like what Google did. Google scaled their AI because they have such a huge, wide, diverse range of customers. They have Gmail, they have Google Search. There's just so many people that they touch every single day. We see how Google's profits are exploding right now. Meta is likely to be the same, but Meta's just probably 6 months behind Google, in my opinion, on that. So when we see this start to materialize more, I expect the profits to go up. I expect the capital expenditures to eventually slow, and it's going to be a big boom for earnings per share to go up and to the right from here. So when we look at Meta, how do I want to allocate here? Well, you guys know I have some shares. You guys know I have some sold puts. You guys know I have some call options. And we can look in the Charles Schwab account super quick, and I'll show you guys what I have going on. So at the time of this video, this is everything that I have opened up right here. Full transparency, that's how I roll. Yes, I'm a little bit red on this Robinhood play down here. But guess what? If you guys were in Discord, I trimmed a lot of what I had on Robinhood last week before it did this big drop because I wanted to de-risk my portfolio overall, get my ratios a little bit more conservative because the market ran up a lot. The valuations were less compelling going forward. But that being said, Meta, I got some shares right here. I'm doing okay. Meta, have some calls right here. I'm up 19,000. Looks okay. Meta, sold puts right here. I'm up $24,000. It's going to be okay probably. Yes, there's going to be volatility. Yes, there's going to be bumps. Yes, I know the stock fell after hours. But here's the deal. All my options go out till 2028 right here. This one right here again on Meta goes out to 2028. My shares, they go out to infinity. There's no expiration date on the shares. So when you're patient as a long-term investor, buying good companies for less than what they're worth with good profit growth, you are likely to do very well in the long term. So the totality of the data of this video basically says the 4 hyperscalers that we just went through, they're spending a lot of money in CapEx right now. There's no debate about that, and that does make investors nervous. But think about what was happening when cars were getting built back in the day. A lot of money was being spent on factories to manufacture those cars. Think about Amazon back in the day before they were even profitable. They're spending a lot of money on warehouses. So you have to spend a little bit of money to make a little bit of money down the road. And that's what I see is happening right now with AI. And these companies, while their profits are a little bit under pressure right now, you just wait a few years until they actually monetize these data centers and have truly good AI that your grandma can use. And when that scales and their capital expenditures slow down, earnings per share is likely to explode. So these 4 companies, there's a lot of potential opportunities in them right now. And understanding where the AI sector is likely to go by breaking these companies down, it's a really important thing to do. So that being said, there's going to be a lot of volatility going forward. There's going to be a lot of bumps. Every quarter is not going to be perfect. But if you're a long-term investor and you hold through the volatility and you know what you own and the why behind it, you buy a good company for a good price with good profit growth, you're likely going to be great and fine in the long term. And that's simply all I do. And when it's very compelling, I use options to magnify something in a bullish way. That's it, and that's how I've been beating the market since well before COVID, over 10 years now. So that's the video. Like, subscribe, hype, drop a comment. Let me know what other companies you guys want me to break down. Let me know your thoughts on what I said. With that being said, if you want to learn more about my option system, watch this video right here, and I'll see you guys in the next one.